Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. They have the backyard stuff pack for free right now on The Sims, on like everywhere that you can get The Sims. So I decided to make a park using mainly just those things in the base game in honor of it being free. I've never owned the pack until it was free, so I was kind of excited to play with it. But let me just show you the build because the park is actually kind of cute. It's not big, but there's not a ton of stuff. It is a game pack, so there's not a ton of things that come with it. So let's just jump in the build and I'll show you what I did. So I started on a 30 by 30 lot and I didn't want to build a ginormous park because honestly, I don't know what to put in a ginormous park. I'm not the best at building community lots. I haven't really dabbled in it too much. So I decided to put it in a 30 by 30 in Newcrest because there's nothing there in Newcrest, and I've used it just to build like random stuff in this save. So I decided to start here, and I honestly like it. It's kind of cute. It's a cute little lot. I love a good square lot. I'm not the biggest fan of the long rectangles, although I think they probably make for better parks. With the backyard stuff, though, we did get slip and slides, which I didn't think I would like the gameplay of it at all, but I actually think it's kind of fun and it's kind of cute to watch your Sims going like down the slip and slide and stuff. It also came with bird feeders and then some other decorations and some actually really cute chairs that I found. Like there's a love seat and a chair, and like there's some outside tables. So there's some stuff in it that I actually really enjoy and I'll probably use in quite a few builds because I think that it would match the type of stuff that I'm doing most of the time. But anyways, since it's a park, I know that not all parks have a little building on them, but I wanted to put a building in here for them to sit because in case it rains or something, I want them to still be able to go to the park and not like die. So I put a little building. Now, this is also the backyard kit, so like it's not meant to be necessarily at a park, it's meant to be in your Sims backyard. And since I didn't really follow that and I made a park out of it with kind of just everything that's in the pack, I just figured I felt like a park was more necessary. I didn't want to build a whole house just to work on the backyard, you know what I mean? I thought that that would be kind of weird. So I decided to build a park. Now, in here, I didn't want to put a ton of stuff on the walls in this little building. I wanted it to be mostly windows. And initially, I wanted to put a sign on that slanted wall that like announced like what the park was, you know what I mean? Like a visitor center, if you will. And I realized that those signs that I was looking for and wanted to use are not part of the base game when I thought they were. My bad. But they're not part of the base game. So I couldn't use them. I do love this rug though that came with the backyard kit. Like I keep calling it a kit, but it's a pack. I mean, doesn't matter at this point. It's DLC. But I do love the everything that's in here. All of the decoration that we got for it, the love seat, the regular chairs, the little accessory tables. I love them all. I think they're adorable. And since this is a park, I did have to add like actual benches, and I thought it was kind of weird that there's no benches in this pack at all. Like there's no benches, and I thought like outside benches, that's classified as an outside bench, which I thought was just super odd. And you also have to have playground equipment, so I put the little space station thingy. I don't know what it's called. Spaceship. There we go. That's the word. But yeah, and this little outside table as well, I think is adorable. So I decided to add those. I mean, I used everything that I could really think of, including all the wind chimes, which do give your Sims like they give them a positive moodlet. At least my Sims have gotten positive moodlets from them. Also, unfortunately, that's an unfunctional birdhouse, but I feel like they should make it a functional birdhouse because they have like functional bird feeding things that your Sims can go and watch the birds feed and stuff. So I don't know why that one would just not have any bird gameplay. You know what I mean? I mean, the birds do run at a really odd resolution and like frame rate from what I saw. So don't look too closely. Zoomed out, it looks fine, but if you zoom in too much, it gets a little weird, to say the least. Now, like I said, this is a 30 by 30, so there's not a ton going on. It's just a park. It's supposed to be like a tiny park in, your neighborhood where I lived, or like when I lived where I live currently. There's a couple parks near us, but they're like tiny like this. They're not very big, and there's like maybe one walking path. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of parks that I see are kind of like that here where I live. I mean, we have some big parks, but they're so overcrowded. So I figured a nice little park in like a cul-de-sac type. I guess this isn't a cul-de-sac, but in a very small world, I felt like was incredibly necessary. Just for realism. Now I'm experimenting with terrain paint. I know that this doesn't look my best, but I'm trying to understand how people use it and like how I can be better at it. So this is kind of my first attempt. I think it actually turned out kind of well. I don't know exactly. I need to like study how other people do terrain paint because it is something that I struggle with like normally. I'm just not the best with it. Especially with like terrain manipulation. I really want to try and get good at that, but I don't know if you really can in The Sims. I've seen people do some cool stuff with it. I just don't think I'm one of those people that knows how to do it yet. I did put a grill because I felt like it was necessary here. Like if you're going to the park, might as well put a little charcoal grill. Like I said, everything in this build is either using backyard stuff or the base game because the backyard kit's free. So I figured use something that incorporates, as much as I could. I thought about putting a little pond, but there really wasn't enough room and I wanted shade. So those are the bird feeders I was talking about. And it is kind of cute. Like I know I said the resolution's all weird, not resolution, the frame rate's all weird on the birds, and it is, and that could be my game and like with the settings I have, but I don't think it is. I messed around with a lot of trees here. I couldn't figure out what was going on with it. I didn't know what I wanted to put here. I ended up settling on this tree because it's big. It provided shade for a good majority of the park. And honestly, what's a park if there's no shade? You know what I mean? Because especially in The Sims, if you have seasons, it'll get like super sweltering. And if they don't have anywhere to go, or if that little building gets super crowded, I just would rather them like be able to stay safe at the park. I don't want my Sims, I don't want your Sims or my Sims to die at the park. I feel like that would be an awful place to die in front of everybody. And then your Sims wouldn't be able to go home if it wasn't even one in your household. You know what I mean? It's just a nightmare. So I just trying to avoid it. This is more terrain paint. I think I maybe should have gone with some like sand or maybe a different color of dirt there because I feel like it just sticks out so oddly. Maybe I should have copied that sand over. Let me know what you guys think because I'm learning and I'm open to suggestions on how to be better at terrain paint and like overall decoration, to be honest with you. Like I would love to hear your guys' suggestions on how you guys would have done this a little bit differently. I didn't work on the outskirts of the park very much because no one's really going to be out there. I focus a lot more on like gameplay wise, I guess, because I end up playing with these builds. Like I don't just build them to like post on YouTube and then leave them alone forever. I will go through and add these into my personal saves and play with them. So like everything I'm building, I will end up playing with or have played with. So I think more in terms of like playability rather than the way it looks. This is, well, I do like the way it looks though. Don't get me wrong. This is a slowed down version of everything that was built. I know that I've had some requests to do a slowed down version of the builds that I do. This one's not big, but I still did a slowed down anyway because the video was still pretty quick. And yeah, this is it. Maybe I should have rotated the tree looking back at it now, but I'm actually really happy with it. I think that it looks like a small little park, a little community park for the people that live next to it. There's not a lot going on. There's some slip and slides for when it's, warm outside, and you can add like bubbles and stuff to the slip and slides. It's adorable, and they get all covered in suds. There's lights on the outside. I didn't put any, I wanted to put some like lights that led into it, but I couldn't really find any that I liked to like put a ton of, that would look okay. So I just kind of left them how it is. But yeah, there's activities for kids. There's activities for all age Sims. There's chess tables. That's the whole build. It's not big. Like I said, it's on a 30 by 30 lot, but it incorporates everything in the backyard kit or backyard pack, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to leave this video here and get it while it's free. I'm not 100% sure when it stops being free, but I would assume it's not going to be free after their spring sale. So go grab it while it's free. It's a cute pack. It has really cute gameplay. And honestly, I'm glad that it's free because I would have probably never grabbed it if it wasn't. And I would have missed out on some fun stuff that I've ended up really enjoying. So I will leave the video here. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And I will see you guys in the next one. All right. Bye, everybody.